They hate when you elevate. You're stacking up losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another great edition of Express Yourself with Sbpres. I am live in studio as always, Mastermind Media. And you know how we kick things off with the expression of the week. My expression of this week, I want to say, is enjoyment. If you don't enjoy anything you do, you'll never get the full pleasure out of it. So all the hard work you put into it, enjoy it. Enjoy the ups, the downs, everything that comes with it. And also, have freaking fun. Live life not on the edge, but on the fun side. Don't do too much, because this gentleman right here does it all for us, man. Not only is he just big in sports, entertainment, fashion, film, but he's just big in the community. I just got to say thank you again for tuning in and being here with us. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome in Mr. Nick Hamilton.
What's up, man?
Nothing much. How you feeling?
I'm growing in the community, man. There's so many other bigger people, and I admire them. So I try to look at them, and I'm looking more ways to be engulfed in the community. So I'm only a little bit there.
Oh, let me go over a few things then. NiteCastMedia, my fellow MLB brethren, and also I just saw the amazing bit that you did on Hardware 94.
Hardwood 94?
Yes,
yeah,
and
sure.
I just want to say it's inspiration because right now is a good time to talk about what the real topic of the world is, which is sad that it's not in the right way. So let's start off with talking about female basketball, how it's just taking over, and that's rightfully so. For me personally, I've been involved since Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, the good days as well before these days, but because of you know her very well. I got some stuff in store. But because of the Caitlin Clark thing, allude to how this is really changing the scope of women's basketball.
I mean, as I said on my show, I think, listen, I like that Caitlin Clark is here, right? I like that Angel Reese is here.
Yes.
I like the fact that Cameron Brink, Rakia Jackson, the countless others, Kate Money Martin for the Las Vegas Aces, there's countless others. Camila Cardoso for the Chicago Sky as well. I just think that this is a really time that people are starting to pay attention for whatever reason, right? The problem I have is when people, you can like whoever, like I said on my show, cheer for who you want to, boo whoever you want to,
right?
But don't make it with a racial connotation in order. Godfrey made a great analogy when it comes to how we view Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Angel Reese is like Beyonce. Caitlin Clark, you know who I'm going with, right? And I totally got it, and it was brilliant, right? It was freaking brilliant, and this is why we are still in two Americas. Because, and I'm not saying every white person, despises Angel Reese, and I'm not saying every black person hates Caitlin Clark or despises her. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, unfortunately, the minority, meaning numbers, are acting like the majority.
Right.
And that's not the case. I mean, we just saw an incident with Kennedy Carter and the Chicago Sky almost got attacked by a guy that was pro Caitlin Clark.
Right.
Right? Not because of the basketball, but because of the color of her skin. Because there were reports that came out that said this guy was using racial slurs and having racial undertones beyond what the footage saw because somebody must have doctored up the footage.
Right.
And I believe Kennedy Carter. I believe all those women that were involved in that. Before I believe that,
I would personally,
because just what advantage do they have about lying about a situation like that, especially something so serious and so sensitive in these days and times? Why would you incite that if you're going to lie about it? So I believe they're telling the truth. And we talk about believing black women all the time, protecting black women. Okay, well, you have to believe them in order to protect them.
Completely. And one thing I will say is we as sports fans, or just in general, we always create a negative and positive perspective, a villain and a hero. Unfortunately, it just plays into that role within the WNBA. But one thing I do want to say is we was already dealing with this when they were in college. With the championship game. So how do we really get this away from it being a race thing and back to it being about the sport of basketball?
It won't, because of the country we live in. Okay, the fabric of the country we live in. And it's a good country to live in, don't get me wrong. I'm proud to be from the United States. However, There are a lot of flaws. There are a lot of things that go on in this country that I do not agree with that need to improve. Having said that, we wouldn't be talking about Caitlin Clark if it wasn't for Angel Reese. Let's be honest.
Right.
The truth of the matter is facts over feelings. The facts are we didn't start talking about Caitlin Clark until Angel Reese did the John Cena and pointed at her ring finger, right? And we were like, oh, my God, that's so harsh. That's so crucial. And then we go, and so we start checking out Caitlin Clark like, oh, my God, this girl can ball. Like, she hoops. And then we started watching what her work ethic was.
Exactly.
And then you can't do nothing but respect her work ethic. You can't do anything but respect the fact that we pay attention to Iowa basketball because of Caitlin Clark. But also, let's put it in context. Most of us were not paying attention to Caitlin Clark until we started watching her in the national championship game that year against LSU, Flau'jae Johnson, and Angel Reese, most importantly.
Completely.
So the funny part about this is that people talk about how much people hate Caitlin Clark, but nobody wants to talk about how many people hate Angel Reese for no fucking reason.
Completely true. And that's what I want to spotlight as well.
Why do you hate this girl? And it's noticeable because there are most of the people that are in my comments are in the pages that that my team runs is the fact that most of the comments are hatred. Some of them are support. Excuse me. A lot of them are hatred. And I'm thinking it goes beyond race. I think it's just the fact that you hate her because you ain't her. I think it's also the fact that she's living out her dream and you're not. And you will never come into a smidget of a percentage of living out your dream. So you're miserable. You suck. You have the personality of a tomato.
You got your Twitter fingers going.
You got your Twitter fingers going besides you moving your fingers in other directions.
Right.
And you're in your basement playing Dungeons and Dragons. Wish you probably could talk to a woman that looks as beautiful as Angel Reese and as elegant and somebody who can eloquent statements as well as Angel Reese can. You wish you could be Angel Reese because the numbers don't lie. People with numbers lie, but numbers don't lie.
Complete.
Look at the numbers when Angel Reese was just on social media, when her games were only on social media. Look how many millions of people followed that. You mean to you can't tell me that it's just strictly a black and white thing because there were white people that followed Angel Reese too.
Completely.
We are not the majority total according to the statistics in this country as black people. There are more white people, right? According to the statistics. So that means that white people have to follow Angel Reese. That means Latino people have to follow Angel Reese. That means Native American people, Asian American, Pacific Islander people have to follow Angel Reese, and whatever other nationality you may be, have to follow Angel Reese just like they follow Caitlin Clark.
Completely.
And I got love for Caitlin Clark. I think she can hoop. I think she belongs in a W. But it is a travesty, and it is so utterly disrespectful when you say, "Oh, if it wasn't for Caitlin Clark, the W wouldn't be this." You are a complete idiotic dumbass, and I say that with no respect because you are disrespecting the league. Before these great women were drafted into this league, we were talking about Asia Wilson, Breanna Stewart, the Gold Mamba, Jewel Lloyd. What about the all-time leading scorer in Diana Taurasi? What about Nneka Ogwumike? We were talking about Alyssa Thomas and DeWanna Potter, the most incredible dynamic duo.
What happened to Skylar Diggins?
Skylar Diggins Smith.
Yeah.
Okay, who's making a really significant comeback.
Exactly.
Love the fact that she's making a comeback. It took her time to adjust, but I love the fact that Coach Noel Quinn said, hey, we got to give this woman grace. She ain't really played in almost 2 years. We got to give her some grace. And sure enough, that grace has paid off thus far.
Yeah.
Breanna Stewart has been fighting for chartered flights for years, along with Asia Wilson. I mean, Kelsey Plum. I mean, everybody has spoken on this. So are we going to negate the fact that the Las Vegas Aces are back-to-back champions, that the face that runs the place, known as Asia Wilson, is still on top of the mountain? She is the face of the league. I don't give a damn about Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, whoever else you want to put in that sentence. Asia Wilson is the face that runs the place.
Completely.
She is the one of one. I don't care what you say. Look at the stats.
Monster numbers.
Look at what she's doing.
And consistent.
The fact that people campaigned on her behalf to have a shoe. We didn't even know she had a shoe deal in place. We were so appalled by the fact that, wait a minute, we weren't mad that Caitlin Clark got her deal. Congratulations to her. Right. I said this. We weren't mad at Sabrina Ionescu. Matter of fact, I'm picking up the Sabrina 2s in a minute.
Hey, I'm getting some jerseys. I'm
picking up the Sabrina 2s, the purple joints.
Those are fire.
Sick.
Fire.
Shout out to Sabrina Ionescu and her team for that one.
For real.
Sick. But we wanted Asia. Mm-hmm. We needed to see somebody who looked like us.
We needed that same spotlight that was put on them.
Right. We need these young girls and these young boys to see that women deserve to be in this place. They're not subordinate. Mm-hmm. They are side by side.
And do your history. Lisa Leslie also had a signature sneaker too.
Lisa, whoa.
Whoa. Like a lot of people don't know.
Hold on. Did you have a pair of the Air Swoops? Because I did.
I did not, but I know what they were.
I did.
My dad bought me some all black Lisa Leslie's and I got upset and he took them back and got me some 13s.
Oh no, I got the Air Swoops.
Yeah.
When I talked to Cheryl Swoops a few years back, I said, yo, I had a pair of your kicks. She was like, what? I was like, if I find that picture, I'm sending them to you. Because I had a pair. And people look like, yo, what are those? I'm like, Cheryl Swoops. And they kind of looked at me funny. I was like, yeah, okay. And then I showed them who Cheryl Swoops was. They was like, oh, we kind of get it. And then Michael Jordan co-signed. It was like, nah, she got one.
She's the one.
She's the one. And so although I love the conversations that are happening with the W, and again, I've been covering this league for 15 years now. I've seen the league go through ups, downs, smiles, and frowns. And the one thing I love the fact is that people are getting more on board because the W, as I said before, the WNBA is absolutely going nowhere, but upward and onward. Right?
That's all it can do.
And that's what it's going to do. But it has this window. I believe it has a 5 to 7 year window before it usurps the NHL.
Okay.
Before it usurps, and
what do you think
men's
was
basketball.
Keeping that window open?
The connection to women's college basketball.
Okay.
And the fact that look what Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have done. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, you're gonna have Paige Beckers coming in next year, who has a higher basketball IQ than Caitlin Clark.
Right.
Again, want to debate me on that? Mm-hmm. We can bring out evidence.
She's been co-signed by Kobe.
Let's go. Okay. First of all, I don't think people are prepared for the Paige Beckers that they think they are.
No.
Because she uses her voice and uses her privilege, as we saw at the ESPY Awards. She didn't have to do that, but that is in her, not on her. She wasn't doing that for a publicity stunt. You could tell. You know when someone's genuine. You know when somebody is just dragging their feet.
Yeah.
So some of you knuckle dragging bottom feeders are not going to like that. And that's fine. However, real is real, truth is truth. And so I don't think they're going to be ready for her to be released because she's going to speak out on issues. See, and the one thing I learned about Caitlin Clark and Michael Vopel, who does a great job over at ESPN and ESPN.com, shared some stuff with me because I was kind of asking, like, hey, what is it about Caitlin? Like, she doesn't seem comfortable with this newfound kind of, I don't want to say celebrity, but this newfound responsibility, right? And because I don't see Caitlin as a person. She's an entity now.
Yes, it's made her.
There's a difference.
It's
just
completely.
Like Angel Reese is now an entity.
Yes.
She's not a person anymore. She's an entity. And I'm not disrespecting them as people. I'm just saying as far from a business standpoint. Mm-hmm. But the one thing he shared with me was like the culture in Iowa and how she grew up was that you keep your head down, you work, you be a part of a team. You don't stand out. You don't make yourself basically bigger than what you are. You keep it. So all of us in this room, even though you may stand out more than me, it's hey, we're equal. We're one. We're on one accord like Honda. Let's go. That's how they think, right? And that's the culture in Iowa. So now I understood her a little bit more, but that's evaporated because
completely.
Now she's gonna have to deal with that responsibility. And though she, I believe her teammates do take care of her and look out for her. Aaliyah Boston, number one, homegirl Hall of Fame right now.
For sure.
She's kept her out of fights. and possibly getting that ass whooped.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Kayla can't fight.
I mean, but
I'm just saying,
that little bump wasn't enough.
No. I'm not talking about just Kennedy Court. I'm talking about the young lady from the Seattle Storm. A couple nights before that, they almost got into it. I'm talking about her almost getting thrown out of games because she was mouthing off to the refs, right? I'm talking about, hey, calm down, focus on the game, stop letting your emotions get the best of you. You can see how she's telling her and talking to her and coaching her. I even asked Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark how that dynamic has come about.
That's a veteran teaching her how to be a pro.
And she's only in her second year. So imagine the responsibility that Aaliyah Boston has to have now, because I'm sure she wasn't expecting that. No. I'm like, look, that's a rookie. I just became, I'm just fresh off being a rookie. Yo, we could play together. We could kick it. But
that's it. But it takes a lot for a person to step up and stand there for you, not stand behind, but stand with you in the fire, because it's going to be even more going into the rest of the season.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of, I don't want to use jealousy, but there is a lot of individuals that wish that the spotlight that is on her was spread out prior to.
I don't know if it's a lot, but I do think the way she's being marketed, I think the W has done a good job marketing teams. And I've talked to Kathy Engelbert about this just before the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese scenario came into the picture. I was just looking at Asia Wilson and Breanna Stewart, right? And I'm saying I felt like they kind of dropped the ball 2 years in a row, because when Seattle and that battle against Vegas, whoever won that series was ultimately going to get to the finals and win the finals, because nobody was beating either one of those teams that year. Then Breanna goes to the East Coast in the #1 market with New York to join Sabrina, who also
made the
were able to have
a powerhouse.
To have John Quell come on, and then Courtney Vandersloot comes on with her veteran presence.
Right.
And then now you're building out this nucleus with Sandy Brondello, who I think is a really good coach. So now you have, but it took them time to gel, and it's still taking them time to gel. And the fact that now you got the Aces and the Liberty going at it for all the marbles, and Aces came back on the road without the point guard on the floor, and were able to accomplish a task that many didn't think they were going to be able to accomplish, something that hasn't happened in 21 years, back-to-back champions, which shows you the real grit and grind for Becky Hammond and that great coaching staff and Asia Wilson and the rest of the Aces. And so I'm saying, hey, how do we build these rivalries? They don't have to This ain't Yosemite Sam against Bugs Bunny. Like, we don't have to
be rooting, tooting, shooting out there.
This ain't Pac and Big. Like,
this ain't Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Well,
but they ain't like us, so I just want to say that for sure.
OVO.
Yeah,
I just think they need to do a little better job at marketing individual rivalries. Like, they could have. And I love the fact that Angel Reese said, "Hey, if you want me to be the villain, that's cool." And I look at Caitlyn like she's John Cena, and I look at Angel like The Rock in the Attitude Era. So either you're gonna love her or hate her. There ain't gonna be no in between.
Either way, you're gonna have somebody,
And The Rock was electrifying.
And you just that's my favorite wrestler of all time, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment.
Except when he became the final boss. Didn't like that.
That whole WrestleMania, him versus John Cena thing.
I love that part.
Okay.
But when they let Cody finish the story, right? And they had everybody come out. That was probably the biggest pop that I heard both days, because when you saw them lose to the Bloodline, sorry for all y'all that are non-wrestling fans.
Hey, that's y'all loss.
But I love the fact that Cody finished the story. And it sucked because Roman had to go away. And I love Solo Sikoa. I think Paul Heyman is doing his best, but it's still missing something. It's missing an ingredient. That cake ain't really rising the way it's supposed to. And I would hope to see Roman Reigns come back as a face.
I think it's a possibility.
And bring back the Usos.
He has too much.
You can't
oust that fire.
You gotta unite the Usos and bring him back with Roman, and then make Paul Heyman choose between the new bloodline and the old bloodline, and then find out who's orchestrated Solo Sikoa to feel like he's the next one. And then bring in The Rock as the final boss, and now you're going to get Rock and Roman.
You're bringing back the old WWF days before it switched over to WWE.
Listen.
You bringing back the real feel.
People underestimate Paul Heyman. That dude is a great writer and a great promoter.
Completely.
Along with Jim Cornette and the rest of a lot of the other writers that are on, that have come, that we've seen come through. And look, bro, I would love. Now that's a WrestleMania in Vegas of all places.
Shout
Rock
out to my
versus
niece.
Roman.
My niece and her dance team, Compton
Come on.
Divas, they got to open up.
Really?
Yeah, last year at WrestleMania.
Well, Bianca Belair.
Yes.
Yo,
so it was a big
that's
thing.
dope.
They walked around, did the routine, and were behind
So
stage
she
with
knew
her.
the young lady that lost her mom. Oh, did she lose her mom or grandmother?
It was
her
her
mom.
mother.
Okay, right, like weeks before or something like.
Yeah.
Wow, bro! Shout out to that little girl.
Small world.
And shout out to your niece too, man. That was a major step. So far,
Hey, I've watched wrestling. Y'all know The Hum. The Hum is my grandfather's song that he gave to my grandmother. But if it wasn't for them, wrestling wouldn't even be a part of. And if he was still alive, my grandparents would still be watching wrestling to this day.
me and my grandfather used to watch Monday Night Raw, and
All
we used
the
to watch
time.
SmackDown. And
Sunday Night Heat.
I used to watch. Well, he started watching WCW. Was Monday Night Nitro.
Nitro,
Was
yes.
yeah. So he was watching that, and then I got back into it because obviously as a kid, but I got back into it when the Monday Night Wars popped up.
Okay.
So I'm like, when I saw DX get on Nitro, and I'm like,
Ooh, the crossing is happening. And then everything slid over to WWE. And
I
then
still have the
doing
DVD.
drafts.
Yeah, I got the DVD where they talked about the 84 weeks.
What?
And how WWE took over finally in that final week. And it was like, that was it.
I'm working on having another legend who was a part of WrestleMania 1 back in here.
Wow.
Mr. T. Yes, working on getting him back in. I got the action figure from WrestleMania 1. I have plenty of memorabilia.
I got the 18 pan.
Yeah,
And
I'm
the
gonna
paint
need
is
that.
chipped. The paint is all chipped off.
I'm going to need that to get him to autograph that. He's
paint's
autographing
chipped
some
off, bro.
signature Skechers for me that I'm putting in a glass
Sick.
case. He has a
Sick.
signature shoe with Skechers. He did a commercial with Tony Romo for the Super Bowl.
I saw that.
Yeah, so big ups to him and wishing him a speedy recovery.
Absolutely,
He
Mr.
unfortunately
T.
had a car accident, but he walked away from
Oh,
it.
wow.
Helped the individual.
That's got to be the
him.
most fortunate man I have
Yes.
ever seen. That man has beat cancer. That man
Yes.
has beaten Rocky movies that he hardly got any reviews on. That man beat Hulk Hogan at one point. Like, that man has gone through. He got through the A-Team.
For real.
Like,
I often
he had his
asked
own
him
cereal.
too. I got the box. I was able to get it off of eBay. Now that was a very
Wow.
expensive piece of memorabilia, but it was well worth it. Again,
Hell yeah.
Like when I show him this box, he's probably gonna do like
Man.
I did when I showed him the action figure. Tear up.
B.A. Baracus? Man,
Yes,
stop.
yes. I mean, you got the van though. Nobody can
B.A.
take that.
Baracus? Man, come on, stop. And then the
Now-
cartoon, the Mr. T
The
cartoon.
Mr. T cartoon. Oh man, if y'all don't know, use your YouTubes and get some history going,
Bro,
Please do.
If you didn't grow up in the 80s and the 90s, life just was not
You
the
missed
same,
out.
bro.
You missed out. Eating
Yikes.
Mr. T cereal and watching Mr. T cartoon.
Right. And
Life.
then watch a Soul Trainer wrestling on Saturday.
man.
And then go across the street to the homie's house and play like Super Nintendo or whatever.
For real. Or Sega, depending
Right,
on
Genesis.
what you got
Yup.
or what they got.
Joe Montana 2 football.
Oh man. And speaking of sports, we talked a lot about WNBA. We are in the finals, brother. And I'm a Laker fan.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
It's going to
we
get
got
worse
some
before
work.
it gets better.
I want to ask first about the coaching position. What's your honest opinion? Exactly. That's what I want to get. What do you think is going to happen with this whole coaching fiasco? On top of switching back into the finals, who do you see having the edge?
All right, let's talk about your Lakers, man. I'm going to start with the bad news first.
Yeah, let's get that out the way.
The Lakers are done winning championships, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't believe me, where the hell have they been since 2020? I don't want to bore you with the list,
Around for the finals?
but it definitely makes me joyful when I think about what they have accomplished since 2020 in the bubble. Because that was my last time really going for the Lakers.
This is hurting.
However, when I see Clutch,
Death row.
I didn't say that. I said Clutch.
Okay,
It's
okay.
your audio man. You gotta check your audio
All
man.
right,
He's
all
tripping.
right.
He over
Fix
there
that,
getting
fix that.
voiceovers and stuff, man. Trying to make me look bad out here in these media streets. But no, I think when you have LeBron, and this is the thing, like I think LeBron is a great player. I have ultimate respect for him as a business person because I think he's really, now you talk about GOATs, I think he's the GOAT of business when it comes to showing athletes you do not have to wait until you're damn near retired or retired to set yourself up for financial gain and be able to invest in certain things. So I applaud him for that. I applaud him for bringing his partners on and saying, look, you ain't going to just be a hangers-on. You're going to learn something. You're going to pick up something to make an impact. Maverick Carter, who I think is a brilliant dude. I have a profound respect for Maverick Carter. I think he is definitely the brainchild. I think he's the backbone of the entire operation. Rich Paul, who I have another guy I respect, what he's been able to accomplish and got through so much stuff that they've tried to create rules to block this man. That's how great this man was.
And still was able to
And
bag a
is,
deal.
Right. Randy Mim, who does a great job being LeBron's assistant, looking out for him, making sure he's taken care of, making sure the family's right. So I think there are different facets. Obviously, what he's built with his media empire that he's built with Spring Hill and the Undefeated and things of that nature. But on the court, it's a different story. And when I look at LeBron, and I said this, and some Laker fans are upset, some people were upset. I don't give a damn. Y'all should know that by now. If you do, I'll be the first. You'll be the first to know. I think that if the Lakers are truly about winning, and again, profound respect for Jeannie Buss and what she's been able to do with that franchise. I think she's a brilliant marketer. I think she's a really solid businesswoman. I've had some questions about ownership decisions, but overall, I think she's definitely done what she can with that brand. And that's not an easy brand to balance. Having said that, if you're serious about winning chips, not right now, but maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, you got to divorce yourself away from LeBron. You got to let go and let God. You have to be able to say, okay, thank you, LeBron. You have definitely put this franchise back, helped put this franchise back on the map. Not something we haven't seen since the late, great Kobe Bryant. We will retire your jersey. We'll give you a great halftime ceremony, the whole nine. You ain't getting no damn statue because you ain't a Laker. You don't even come past the 10 freeway unless it's for practice. Let's be honest.
That's so true.
Okay? When the last time you see it, besides practice?
I mean, I saw him at
El
Blaze
Segundo,
Pizza
where
in Culver City. That was a long time ago.
That was a business check-in.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. LeBron is getting older. Though he's putting up good numbers, he's still getting older. You've got to get younger. Magic Johnson, arguably one of the greatest point guards to play the game, said, why aren't we getting younger, meaning the Lakers? We look at Minnesota. You look at Denver. You look at Dallas. You look at even the Clippers. You look at Sacramento, and that once they figure it out, because they're still young. Look at OKC. Yeah. OKC lost because of inexperience.
I agree. They didn't have a veteran
If
presence.
they're smart, they will learn from this, especially Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren, and the rest of those guys. They're going to, if they're smart enough to have the right mentality, they're going to figure it out. Much like how we saw Ant-Man figure it out from 1 year to this year.
Completely.
And he's going to figure it out next year. Like he said, hey, man, I wasn't conditioned. I wasn't conditioned to make a deep playoff run like I thought I was. Guess what? You don't think that man is in the gym right now with a trainer, working out, watching film?
Completely.
The guy does it on both ends of the floor. Something we haven't seen in quite some time. That's what makes Ant-Man
a superstar two-way player.
He's not a superstar yet.
A superstar.
I think he's a star.
A star.
He's a rising
There we
star.
go, rising star.
Headed towards superstardom once he gets to a certain level.
Yes.
I don't care what Cameron or anybody else says. He is not a superstar yet. Your fingers are still naked.
You got to have some jewelry.
And you got to be a significant contributor to that jewelry.
Or been there enough times.
Which he is. Okay? Which he will be. They put some more right pieces around him. Minnesota's going to get there.
Because I have a question to piggyback off of that. Okay, let me just cut the shit. Do you see Jason Tatum as a superstar?
I will see him as a superstar if he wins a chip this year.
If he wins the chip, not being the Finals MVP, or just winning the chip?
He's going to be Finals MVP.
Okay. Well, I think he would have to be in order for them to win it.
Well, here's the thing: you can't discount Jaylen Brown.
Oh, I don't.
And real quick before we get to that, because I want to finish answering your question about the Lakers. Until they change that roster, you can dig up, God rest his soul, Chuck Daly. You can bring Pat Riley out of retirement and away from the executive role and bring the 80s Pat Riley back. You can bring Phil Jackson there in his prime. You're not going to win a damn thing until you change that roster. That means you're going to have an overhaul. That means look at that roster in 2020. You know why they were so dominant? because when they needed to go small, they could go small. They had guys that got it done on the defensive end as well as the offensive end. You had Rajon Rondo, who was a vet at that point, that understood what it took to get the job done. You had Alex Caruso swarming around. You had a lot of – then you had bigs. You had JaVale McGee. You had Dwight Howard coming off the bench, accepting his role. Matter of fact, I was covering the Lakers that year. When we would be doing postgame, Dwight would go back out and knock down so many free throws before he would be able to talk to us.
Just to stay ready. Because he did only play in the Western Conference Finals. He didn't play in the finals because he was not needed. But he came off the bench in those crunch time in those garbage times rather, and that gave him the fuel, and he was working on his craft. JaVale McGee. Then you switch, which moved the pressure off AD. So AD was able to perform, right? And AD stayed relatively healthy that year, even with a bum ankle. Even in the bubble, he had a messed up ankle. He still getting. If it wasn't for that big time three, Lakers might not have a chip. Yeah.
So, again, you have to look at what made them so successful. I think Frank Vogel was a good coach. Frank Vogel knew how to deal with the bigs. When LeBron gets tired of you, you're gone.
Yeah.
And when you have an organization that allows him to do that, just like with the whole J.J. Redick situation, the reason why J.J. Redick was a severe candidate is because LeBron likes coaches who are young and those coaches who he can control. And that's why he fits the bill. Now, with this guy from UConn that's coming in that came out of the west side of hell.
Right. I mean, two-time champion, though.
No, he is on the collegiate ranks.
Collegiate, yeah.
And I'm not taking anything away from him, but I'm saying J.J. Redick was the odds-on favorite. If you go to put your money in Vegas, he was the odds-on favorite, right? Now it's like, what are they doing? Are they spinning this? Is this marketing?
I think it's spinning it.
Is this advertising to keep the Laker name out there because the finals haven't started yet?
Right. And notice how LeBron dropped that quote about Kyrie, right?
Tried to steal Kyrie's moment.
Yeah.
I agree with Kendrick Perkins on that one. He tried to steal Kyrie's moment. Like, come on, dog.
If you wanted him that bad, then something would have happened last year.
Bro.
Kyrie
is so happy. You could tell he's gleaming because he is coming to his own. We love the fact of seeing Kyrie coming to his own. And this is the kind of Kyrie we've been waiting on. But it takes some people time to get to where they need to get to. He's a human being. We all make mistakes. Just because you and I's mistakes aren't plastered everywhere, we're not on Kyrie's level.
We're not magnified to the extent that he is.
So if he farts sideways and belches over ice cream music, it's gonna make TMZ.
Front page of everything.
You know what I mean? It's gonna make TMZ. If the guy pees in the bushes off the 5 freeway because he couldn't hold it and find a gas station, that's gonna be on Daily Mail or Media Takeout. Like, it's just what it is. He didn't do anything wrong. The man had to go pee.
And then you'll have representatives like such here on NiteCastMedia coming to clean up and give the real perspective of what's going on.
It's just ridiculous. Thank you.
And
it's just ridiculous, man. Like, so I look at it this way, right? Headline sell. People can claim they put people on and made women who they are. Fine. That's your narrative. Cool. We all know the truth, right? These women put themselves on. They just got opportunities like we all get opportunities, and they took full advantage of it and ran it, took it home, right? And I look at, your next question about the finals. I look at Dallas. I think Dallas, listen, Luka Doncic, offensive machine. We're not saying Luka Doncic, top-notch defender, who's also battling an injury, by the way.
Yeah.
Who has been battling an injury throughout these playoffs.
I think it happened in the second round for him?
No, it was during the Clipper series.
Oh.
It was during the Clipper series. Kyrie is Kyrie. PJ Washington, and those boys, they shored up their defense, right? The thing with the Celtics, and I picked the Celtics in 6. And no, it's going to be so giddy when they get 18.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it yet.
I'm calling. You one of the first people I called too.
Oh man!
Before I even get on Twitter.
I'm gonna wait for that
I'm
one.
gonna. Oh yeah, Laker Nation. Oh man.
I just want to see Kyrie do it.
I'm sure you're going for Dallas. Yeah, you can make all the you can make all the reasons you want.
I got a lot of good reasons.
No, it's cool.
A lot.
Yeah, I bet
and
you
it's
do.
Just basically anti.
I bet you wrote them all down. I bet you wrote them all down too.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet you did. All you Laker fans in there.
I literally said Mavericks
Y'all got
in
your
6.
yeah. You got I bet you did. If say Mavericks in 6, you got your crystals out. Y'all sitting up there chanting and whatnot. And
I got my sage right
you got
now.
your sage burning like you Kyrie and shit. Like no.
I wonder is he gonna sage the garden before tonight's game?
Shit. Yeah, good luck with that. I love Kyrie, but Kyrie ain't no fool now. But I will say this: I think the X factor is Porzingis.
Yes, I completely agree.
Porzingis, but also let's not negate Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday is a dude that's been there. He's been in these situations. This guy can shoot, and he's probably going to defend Luka most of the time. And he's going to try to tire out Luka. Now, Luka's going to get his shots off. No question. He's Luka Doncic. At the same time, who's going to defend Drew Holiday? You going to put Luka to defend? You trust Luka to defend Drew Holiday for 3.5 quarters?
Good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
You're going to tire him out on defense.
God bless him.
Not going to have the legs in him in the fourth quarter. And I feel like because, and this is one thing I will say about Boston, Boston has more arrows to throw at him. You have Drew Holiday. You have White. You can throw Brown on him and stuff like that. You know, confuse him and get him out of his rhythm.
I don't know what Geritol that what's my man for the Celtics? The old man, 42.
Al Horford.
I don't know what type of Geritol that Al Horford is taking, but my God, that dude finds a way to get after it. I applaud that man.
He's found that Lazarus pit from Batman.
Listen,
he just keeps on resurrecting himself. Seriously.
I don't know.
he deserves a ring.
You got Stone Cold Luka Doncic drinking beers backstage.
Right? And then Michael Finley just snatching him out of his hands real quick. Like, come on, man. You're a public figure. Keep it away from the public.
Not only that, dog, you ain't won nothing, bro.
Right, you celebrating with a small beer. Like,
I mean, you gonna smoke a cig on the way home? Like, what you doing? Your body ain't all. I mean, your body ain't gonna be in Men's Magazine, Men's Men's Journal, Men's Fitness, whatever that magazine
Men's
is.
Fitness, yeah.
You ain't gonna be in there no time soon. So, you know, you kind of on the pudgy side, my guy. Pause, but
big pause.
I'm just saying, like, you can't. You got to take care of your body. When I look at these guys like Jaylen Brown, I look at, when I look at Drew Holiday, when I look at Porzingis, when I look at, everybody else on that squad. These guys are ready, and they've gone through way more. Think about it. They got to go through a scandal the year prior with their coach. Yep. They had to get a whole new coach, new head coach, rather. Even though they may have been familiar, but it's still a different role. And then they had the best offense and defense. They the number 1 team in the league.
And couldn't fall short of anything because all the press and everything that was coming with it.
Boy.
Now, because you are a master of your craft, which means you're continuously working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
I feel like a master is somebody who continuously practices what they preach.
Because I damn sure ain't got no master's degree. So yeah.
Man, he got a master's degree in hustling, hard working.
Shit, I didn't even get it. I got barely an AA, bro.
Okay. Well, I got some amazing blasts from the past from your amazing work with your AA. And,
thank you.
And please, whatever comes to the heart, let it fly, brother.
All right.
So what we got? Yes, sir. Now.
Damn. Shout out to my photographer, Brittany Menderfield. He actually took that shot of that's when Caitlin first came to Los Angeles for the first time, playing in Los Angeles to a packed house, 19,000 plus.
And you had the luxury of interviewing her.
Yeah, the day before.
So what was her composure like at that time?
She looked tired. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, obviously she's coming out of practice. I mean, she's not gonna be like, hey. But I think not just physically tired, but I think it was just so much on her, and they were losing. They hadn't won a game at that point.
Yeah.
So the pressure was trying to get her to win a game, right? And all of these narratives that are being spun about her, and players can say what they want. They listen to some things. I'm not saying they listen to everything, but I think they listen to some things. And if you're a human, it wears on you. So. She was very well composed. I mean, she answered the questions, by myself and others media members who were there that day. I didn't keep asking her about, so why didn't you say anything about this or that person? Like, who the hell cares? But that's just me.
Realistically, you're there for the person in front, not the bullshit behind.
Well, that's a masterclass. But go ahead.
Now, because you are very profound with a lot of up and coming and rookies, my next photo.
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Oh yeah, my
Number
man Caleb
one.
Williams. Had a great pleasure of covering him for 2 years at USC. I think there's a big misconception about how passionate he is for the game because he goes about it a different way. And the one thing I respect about Caleb Williams is that he controlled his own narrative. He didn't let anybody tell him what he should do, not do. Obviously beyond the things that you're supposed to, but I'm saying he wasn't cookie cutter. Okay. He was, hey, if I feel like walking like this, I'm gonna walk sideways. I'm gonna be a salamander. You know what I mean? If I wanna do backflips up and down that track, that's what I'm gonna do. I don't care. I'm still gonna be Caleb Williams today. I'm gonna be Caleb Williams tomorrow, and now I'm the #1 draft pick of the Chicago Bears, and they actually gave me some weapons. And to see Keenan Allen, who had recently got traded to the Chicago Bears from that other LA team.
We ain't gonna talk about them.
Who?
We ain't gonna talk about them.
Who?
Send them back.
Man, FedEx. Return to sender. But I just love, I think people are going to be surprised at how well he prepares for games. He's a different guy, meaning he's not about the rah-rah. He like he said, he wanted to go home. And then I didn't understand how this man just suffered a game-crushing defeat, and he talks to his mom, and he cries with his mom because he's upset. He's hurt. And people make fun of that. And I'm like, wait a minute. When we see athletes cry and be upset, everybody's like, damn, dog, I feel that pain, man. But when he does it with his moms, it's like, oh my God, what are you so soft? And they use other expletives that I'm not gonna use. But it's just like, come on, man. Like this man, I want a quarterback that leaves it all out on the field.
Completely.
We complain about how many times quarterbacks just milk it or they don't perform at a maximum level. This man did. And he's upset. He's human. He ain't no damn cyborg.
And the way he went about it was the best way to go about it. Because would you rather him do that or do what Antonio Brown did? I rest my case.
Another idiot. Anyway.
What we got next?
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Oh, Lil Durk.
Yes.
Lil Durk that's a good brother, man. And the reason why I say that, I listened to a couple of his songs. You know, I'm not like a, religious fan, but he's smart and he's very down to earth. Got a chance to ask him a few questions, and good dude, man. At least from what I can tell, when he interacted with me, and I just wish him all the best, man. I just wish him all the best, and take care of yourself, man, and stay safe, man.
Yeah, I believe it was breaking news earlier this week that he's coming together with some people from the city to make a rehabilitation center down in Chicago.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
He loves his city, man. That's one dude. Now, I'm not saying he's the only one, but I'm saying that's one dude that really, truly loves his city.
Yeah, despite what's in the music, he definitely gives back to the city, for sure. What else we got, brother?
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Jazz Chisholm, man.
I had the luxury of doing my first bit on him from MLB Bros.
Yeah, man.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. So what is it like to be able to have a face-to-face with him?
Man, you know what it's like? I'm talking to you. I don't put any more emphasis on something than it has to be. I treat them like human beings, and that's why I try to connect as much as I can, because I treat them like human beings. I don't treat them like superstars. They got smoke blowing at their asses their whole life. I'm not saying it about Jazz, but I'm saying just most athletes in general. Jazz is a very down-to-earth guy. I mean, he's definitely represents the culture. And, he's like, look, man, I want more black players in the MLB. And that's one of the questions I asked him. He looks up to guys like Mookie Betts and, other guys. But he also knows he's comfortable and confident in who he is. And he was like that when the moment he arrived on the scene.
Completely.
And that's why he rubbed some people the wrong way. Not because he was being a jerk, but because he was confident and knew who he was and knew his value. And didn't allow anybody else to dictate his value or devalue him. That's one of the main things I respect about Jazz Chisholm.
And the one thing I'll piggyback off of that is a saying that I take into my life. If I live my life based on how you want me to, I wouldn't be living for me ever.
You coming with that Mr. Feeney wisdom,
ever.
Huh?
Well, yeah, I actually watched. I watched the post that he was talking to Corey.
That Mr.
If
Finney
you,
with
if you
him,
take
boy.
a plant and you keep it here. Yeah.
Kit from Knight Rider.
Yeah. What else we got, brother?
3, 2, 1.
Now, because you do
Patina
a lot,
Miller.
yes, because you do a
Shout out to her.
lot of premieres, you get to, not even just sit next to, but speak to and have articulated conversations with. What was the conversation like with this young
It was
lady
brief,
here? 'Cause-
but I just gave her flowers and just told her how much I respect her talent, her craft, her gift. And hey, man, I'm trying to get a, I'm trying to get a job at Rock, and she started laughing, and I said, hey, I watched the show, I love what the direction it's going in, and you really anchor
yes,
that show, and that's not to say that. Shout out to Malcolm Mays, shout out to all the rest of the actors that are on that show. But Patina Miller, if I would think if you didn't have a Patina Miller on that show would cave in. That's no disrespect to any of the actors or actresses that are on that show. But you have to have a foundation in order for you to build rooms on that property. And she is the foundation of that show because of the experience that she brings and the versatility that she brings.
top
so
of the line,
immaculate.
top of the line, and she looks immaculate.
Oh, she is. She's a great person. I mean, she's like I said when I met her. I excuse myself, excuse me, that. And she was very, like I said, just very cool, down to earth. Hey, and like I said, when I made her laugh, I was like, cool.
We winning.
Yes.
What else we got, brother?
3, 2, 1.
Now, yes, he does the games, the sports games, and behind the scenes of the filming industries, but he was at Disneyland for food and wine, brother.
Yes, indeed.
Can you tell everybody, because
Church.
a lot of people go up to Disneyland nowadays just to walk around the park and drink. What was this event like, and why didn't I know about this sooner?
Hey man, look here. I'm getting in by the skin of my teeth.
Just leave the
All
foot in the
28
door.
of them.
Leave the foot in the door. I'll just sneak in.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, if I can do it, but I don't think you want to mess with Disney security. But no, I mean, listen, I cover a lot of. I've been fortunate to cover a lot of Disney events, and I think Disney does a great job with their events and their staff. And it was a beautiful time, man. I mean, just being able to not only sample the wine, but just be in the ambiance and seeing what they're bringing down the table. And that's like I said, when Pixar Place opened up their new hotel, I went to the Pixar Fest. Been to countless other things at Disneyland and California Adventure and Downtown Disney, but it's remarkable to be a part of that and just to see the growth of what they're doing. And I can't wait till they open up the other part of that park once they construct it and build it up. Because your man stayed at the Disneyland Hotel one night, and for the free 99.
As you should.
Yeah, for the free 99, and it was all worth it because I had a king bed to myself.
Man, that's
And
the
the
happiest
pleasures
place on
of
earth.
life, the pleasures of life when you in bed by yourself and you ain't got to share nothing.
Two things: peace and quiet.
Yes.
Peace and
Although
quiet.
I do love interacting with a beautiful young lady from time to time. I do that. But
Absolutely.
There's time when I want to be by my doggone self.
Sometimes I just want to hear my own thoughts and breathe my own air. No disrespect.
Sometimes I want to do the door open when I use the bathroom. You know what I mean? It be like that sometimes.
Right, and I'm gonna go a mile over, not to be gross, but just like you guys, girls don't fart or girls don't shit. We are holding in our stuff not to kill y'all. So
Speak for yourself.
Oh,
'Cause if I know you good enough,
I'm walking out
about to catch these
the
darts.
room, but I'm just
Nah, if I'm chilling,
if I ain't
like,
got no life insurance
if
on
I'm
you, I'm not
chilling
killing
on the carpet, hey man, if I'm chilling on the carpet or on the couch or something, hey man,
you. It is what it is.
you might catch a rapid fire.
I will
right
say
fast.
excuse me, or you can just excuse yourself.
My fault. Next. Hello.
Okay, so I definitely set this off air, but I want to revisit this because Shoe Pug is big on inspiring individuals. I live, breathe, eat, and sleep Shoe Pugs. I got some socks on.
Man,
shoes
you
came
do.
from them. I'm doing something different.
You
this
sure ain't got no
time.
ownership in Shoe Pug? I'm just saying because you broke them
We're,
kind of hard.
we're working.
Oh,
we're
okay,
working.
okay, all right.
We're
all right.
working.
I ain't trying to break no exclusive
Oh, no.
now. I'm just saying, boy,
we are working.
You out here recruiting.
I told them literally, I don't know what it is that Supreme did to get to where they're at, but that journey I want to take.
We could talk about that off
So
here.
that's
But anyway,
there. But With that being said, they're all about inspiring individuals. So could you tell me in recent memories, what was an inspiring moment for you?
An inspiring moment for me. Let's see. Jesus. I'm going to ask some real questions today, aren't you?
We got to leave them off with something, you know? Hit them in the head, hit them in the heart, hit them in the
Damn
stomach.
journalists, I tell you. Sheesh. My God.
And shout out Arion for calling me his favorite journalist. I'm working. I'm working.
No doubt. I would say my inspiring moment was just looking back on my career from this point back and seeing how far I was able to come. You know, God has definitely opened up doors for me, continues to do so, but then also you got to be able to walk through them and have the opportunity to walk through them and have the right people to guide you along the way. Because this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. And this is a path that it has an incline, decline, sideways, you know, circles, dead ends sometimes. You got to walk all the way back to get back on the original trail, and then, you know, so you're taking more time to get deviating off the trail than, you know, staying on it. It's a lot, you know what I mean? But to be able to have a team of people that support me as I support them, that believe in me because they don't have to, the people that encourage me, whether it's through comments or through personal interaction, I appreciate it all. My friends that I've had for 25, 30 years that are still alive, that I didn't have to go to any funerals for per se. Like one of my junior high friends, unfortunately, he passed on due to an accident. But outside of that, like most of my friends are still alive. Guys I went to high school with, some of them went to the penitentiary, some of them are in the ground. Unfortunately, I can say I've never been to the pen. I can say that even though I used to get harassed, LAPD, you know, I'm still here. I'm not brain dead. I'm walking. I'm able-bodied. I can see, hear, taste, you know, touch. I can pee on my own.
That's important. That's important.
It is. It very well is.
Very.
You know, I've been through some things, but I'm still here. So apparently I made more right decisions than wrong ones. But I think those are my inspiring moments, just looking back and being able to still be in certain positions and then creating opportunities for other people. You know, some people I'm still cool with. Unfortunately, some people I'm not. And that's really unfortunate. However, life goes on. And if you know you coming from a good place, whether people understand it or not, and they don't take the time out to understand it, that's on them. I can't dwell on that. I'm having a ball right now. And even though I'm learning, I'm going through growing pains on certain areas, other areas I'm excelling. So it matters. That's my inspiring moment, man. It's just like, who cares? Like, people going to talk all day, good, bad, or indifferent. It's about how you see yourself, the things that I've gone through, and the lessons that I've learned along the way to be able to propel me to get to those points. Because sometimes the same lessons are repeated. It's just they come in a different form. It's remixed. So I think those are the things that I look at. Those are things and then I learned to laugh more. Like, I would crack jokes. Like, I'd be laughing. I'd be sitting there talking crazy because I like to have fun. You know what I mean? Like, I like to have fun because guess what? I'm about and my mind is different. Like, I was telling a friend of mine, I vote different. You know, I see things different. I don't vote with emotion like we were accustomed to doing, like we were programmed to do. I vote economically. I vote for who's going to give me the most for my vote. That's how I vote. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to vote. I'm saying how I do it. And because I see the overall spectrum of how the country moves. So, certain things that I move different. I don't care about certain things like I used to care about when I was 21, 22, 23 years old. You know what I mean? I care about certain things now more that I didn't care about when I was in my 20s. So as you mature, as you elevate, I'm here for a reason. You know, I had a significant health scare challenge that I might not have been here if I didn't do certain things correctly to still have a second chance in life. So excuse me if I don't give a damn about you whining or going through something on a particular day. I don't have time for that. I have a young man that I'm raising to get to 18 to make sure he safely gets to 18. What the hell do I care about well, I didn't like the way you said, especially if I didn't say it disrespectful or I do something disingenuous or just devalue you, call you out your name, cuss you out for no reason, because I will cuss your ass out. It's just got to be a reason. But if I just cuss you out for no reason because I'm having a bad day, you know, I have to atone for that and I have to apologize and try to make right what I did wrong. But if I'm not doing any of that and you just, well, it implied, I don't give a fuck what it implied. You know, stick something in your ear and fuck what you heard. I don't care. Like, I honestly don't care. Because guess what? I'm going to be, in the words of Terrell Owens, I love me some me.
For
and
real.
I'm going to love me. And that doesn't mean I have to hate you. It doesn't mean I have to love you less. It just means I may have to love you in a different way. I speak a little different. When somebody says, oh, man, like I tell somebody, oh, that's my friend, I love him to life. I don't say I love you to death. I say I love you to life. I had a conversation with a friend of mine. You know, I was joking with him. I said, oh, man, politician over here getting all the bread. Money-making Mike over here. Right? He was like, yeah. I'm getting it, trying to get debt, hung up in debt. I said, no, financially free.
There we go.
Because if you claim debt, you're going to be debt. And I understand there's a certain thing called good debt when you're in business, but I'm talking about overall just as a person. I claim financial freedom. I don't claim that. Because what you claim, you shall have.
I agree.
Right? And so, look, man, I have fun. Mm-hmm. I still like messing with people when it comes to, like, I know when people don't like my presence somewhere, so I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there, and I'm gonna piss you the hell off just because. That's all.
Now, I got my small inspiration, then we'll kick things out of here. But my inspiration means a lot to me. You elaborated on, you know, people being there since day one. I got to give a big shout out to my boy Alex, man. Straight up. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to get the laptop, to get the microphones, to get the interfaces, to start building this, what I have today. And then Antoine, who just, you know, Coach Bray, who just headed out here. Like, you know, I try to keep the individuals that keep me sane close, because we all going through this madness of life. And you definitely need the ones that have the best perspective of you next to you. And also push people ahead of you. If we're inspired by people in front of us, then why aren't we pushing more people ahead?
Dude, the freest thing you can give is information. But people hold on to that like it's a bag of gold. I don't understand it personally.
Now, I do have one more thing. I did not come with the shoe pug bag or any gift, because this is going to be the first gift where we go actually to the plug, the shoe pug's headquarters, and I'm going to gift this man with a pair of shoes.
Oh, man, I appreciate you, brother.
No,
You're a blessing to the ministry, man.
I appreciate you.
I got some space in the closet for another box.
Hey, let's do it.
Because I keep my boxes, Jack.
Oh, same.
Except for a couple pair I had to destroy. Because my son,
boxes.
Yeah, no, my son thought when he was younger, he thought, oh, this is something for my toys. And took my shoes out and started tearing up the box. Boy, was I hot.
He was making wrestling rings out of your shoe boxes?
No, he was just making, like, he put his train, and like, oh, this is a house for my train. I'm like, you tore the goddamn top off the box?
That goes 25%.
Bruh.
Yeah, the shoes is just as important as the box.
But man, I was pissed that day. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I had to walk away. I told my mama, I'm going out for a drive. I'll be back.
So we got NiteCastMedia. We got TheHardWood 94. We got MLBBro.com. What else is next, brother?
Shout out to my business partner, Q Jones. We got a company together called Sand Lake Road Entertainment, which is a script development, film, TV company that we put together. And actually, ironically, our first project is TheHardWood 94. Our second project will be a documentary that we're going to be shooting hopefully sometime this year. We're in talks with a director who I hope will definitely get on board.
Just send it over to Spike Lee.
Man, I look here, man. I'm on that. You know what I'm on? Minus not paying people. I'm on that other wave, and I ain't gonna say no names, but
I feel it.
You know what I mean? I'm on that wave. So listen, we're developing it organically. We're building it up, and we're looking to definitely make an impact in this particular entertainment space because we feel it's important. You know, oftentimes you may have a great script, but if you don't know the right people to get to the movie companies and the bigger companies, they'll turn you away just because you don't have that name or nobody walked you in. So we're trying to be able to say, hey, if it's a good script, if it's a good script, it's a good script. I don't care what movie company does it or doesn't do it. If it's a good script, it's a good script. Let's develop it. Let's make sure we try to help you make your name great. And that's what we want to do as well. It's not just about us. It's not just about me. It's about impacting other people and give them opportunity. The same way people gave me opportunity. The same way that people saw something in me that they didn't have to do anything, but they wanted to. And so I'm just want to be able to pay it forward, give opportunity. So when I step away, it's like, man, y'all take this. Y'all take this. You know, like I'm not going to be doing sports forever. I'm not going to be doing entertainment forever. But if you open up doors and say, look, man, whether it's me telling somebody something, whether it's showing somebody something, I may not put you on, and I'm not going to take no credit for putting nobody on, like, you know, some people we've heard about. But what I will say is I will take credit for saying, hey, I said this or I showed you that. That's as far as I take it because I said it. Mm-hmm. Now, what you do with it is up to you. Ain't no guarantee you're going to take it and run up the field with the ball with it. You may just sit on it like a frog on a lily pad.
It's like a job. You hear about someone's hiring. You may not be the person that wants or needs the job. You hear about it. You tell someone about it, and they get the job. You didn't get them the job.
Nah, their talents did.
Their talents and how they discuss themselves in that interview got them the job.
Man, I thank each and every person that has been on this journey with me, whether we still cool or unfortunately we went our separate ways. I thank every person for that because they didn't have to join me on the journey. I'm not mad at nobody, to be honest with you. I may be disappointed in some respects, but I'm never mad at them. Mm-hmm. I would, even though they've come at me, you know, and it took a lot of strength. Because, boy, did I was ready to lock and load verbally.
Oh, you and me both.
But what is that going to do ultimately? How's that going to make me look if I'm doing all of that? Right?
It delays the mission that you're really on.
And, yeah, exactly. Like I said, like we talked about earlier, deviating off course, off on the wrong path, that's a dead end instead of staying on the path that you were already on. I don't need to do that, man. I'm getting up there where I don't have time for that. I don't have time. So, you know,
I ain't got no gray hairs yet. Well, I got a gray eyelash. But I ain't got no gray hairs. I'm not trying to get anytime soon.
Hey, listen.
You know,
if you do, some that do, still a damn fool. If you was a fool at 8, you be a fool at 80.
Some people don't hear the words of the wise.
You hear me? Mm-hmm. Some that are a fool at 8 are a fool at 80. And in between. You hear me?
Hey, pick it up because this ain't the first. This ain't the second. And it won't be the last time we have the man, Mr. Nick Hamilton.
We'll wait till the numbers come in and you'll make that determination.
I don't care if it gives me one. Like, the knowledge that you
this
gave,
guy ain't hitting the needle.
It's limitless.
Hey, can I get back on the show? You know what? Let me look at the schedule.
Let them know your handles and how to find you.
You can find me at Nick Hamilton LA on Instagram. You can also find me on X at Nick Hamilton 213. Check us out at NiteCastMedia, NiteCastMedia.com. You can also check us out every Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern on YouTube at NH Experience TV. Subscribe. TheHardWood 94 every Thursday, and also every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, Sirius XM channel 145. The NH Experience, the best 60 minutes of your week, will happen every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, Sirius XM channel 145, and all of the streaming platforms for free $99. You know your man got you.
And if you're not there, you know where to be every Taco Tuesday. That's here with us at Express Yourself with Sbpres. And I'm your host, Sbpres. And like that, we gone.
They hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly.